Welcome to Spotlight Sessions, where we shine
What's
a light
your
on
story?
incredible. What does accessibility mean to you?
What's your mission? Welcome all to accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, where we shine a light on incredible individuals and organizations and the work that they do. I'm your host, Josh Basil. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic, paralyzed below my shoulders, and a power wheelchair user. I'm a community relations manager at accessiBe and a passionate disability rights advocate and trial attorney, focused on breaking down barriers to access and inclusion for people with disabilities. Today on accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, we are joined by Dave Barton, the Executive Director of the National Alliance for Accessible Golf. Welcome, Dave.
Well, good morning, Josh. It's great to be here, and I'm not sure if I quite missed the extraordinary category. I got a lot of folks that help us do what we do, but I appreciate that introduction.
Well, I'm just very excited to have you, Dave, and to let's just jump right into it. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. Took over as executive director here about 7 months ago. Prior to that, I had a career in the Navy as a pilot until about 2005, and then I got in the golf industry and managed properties up in the Northern Virginia area, and relocated to the Charleston area about 3 years ago to work for the National Golf Course Owners Association as the editor of Golf Business Magazine and senior director of education and membership. And so very new to the charitable nonprofit space on a personal level, but I love the mission that we have and the organizations we get to work with. And I think that's what brings me to you this morning.
And so before we dive into more about the National Alliance for Accessible Golf, have you been a golfer your whole life? Tell us about your golf journey.
Yeah, mostly. My dad was a teacher and an educator, so I kind of grew up around a gym, to tell you the truth, which I love. So I played a lot of sports, and I played golf as a young boy for a couple years, from ages maybe 10 to 12, and in Clarksville, Tennessee. And then I kind of gave it up for many years to just pursue other sports and other things. And as I was finishing up college and thinking about going in the Navy, I started playing a little more golf again. And once I got in the Navy, I realized that the golf courses on the military bases were super affordable and good golf courses. And I started playing, and I haven't stopped since. And that was probably full-time playing a lot of golf when I could, probably around the 1980 time frame. So I've been playing for a little while.
Nice. And with the National Alliance for Accessible Golf, tell us more kind of about the mission, what you're doing funding wise, what you're doing to impact the community.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The Alliance has been around for a little over 20 years, and it was started by some really motivated individuals on the golf and therapeutic side who kind of saw the value of golf related to therapy with regard to work with individuals with a range of disabilities. And so, our mission in its purest form is to increase the participation of individuals with disabilities in the game of golf. And we do that a few ways. We do that through education, serving as an education resource for folks that have questions. We speak at events about access and inclusion. We also put out some of our own education. We've got a lot of information on our website related to the Americans with Disabilities Act, which of course golf courses have to kind of follow. And we do a lot of answering the phone when people call asking, where can I find a program? Who can I speak to about this? So really, the best part about the job is we help whenever the phone rings, and we look for opportunities to help in other places. And the big piece of what we do is, of course, our grant program, where we've, for about the last 10 years, we've been distributing grants to programs that are helping individuals with disabilities play golf across the country. We've given away about $1 million in almost 10 years, and that's all on our website, public information. So it's a pretty good number, but I believe we can certainly do more. And that's kind of one of my primary jobs right now, is to look for ways that we can do that.
That's awesome. And when somebody wants to find a program and they call you up, what do they go to your website? What number do they call? Just any information on how people can get to you?
Absolutely. There's lots of ways to do it. Certainly, they can go to our website, www.accessgolf.org, and we've got a phone number on there. We've got a info email account that's very easy to find there. They can reach out directly to me that way. We've got a facilities listing on our database. It's a self-service sort of system, so if programs around the country are interested in listing their programs, they're able to do that on our site. We've probably got close to 300 programs listed on there now. It's an older database. It's been around since about 2015, so programs ebb and flow, as you know. But we still keep our eye on the prize there to encourage programs that cater to this demographic to certainly sign up there. Additionally, the Make Golf Your Thing program that's kicked off around the country, they've started a really cool, fantastic national database of programs as well. So we're encouraging also any programs with uh, uh, related to golfers with disabilities to register there as well. So the more places we can get out there, the easier it becomes for individuals looking for programs for themselves to find them, or, a lot of cases it's family members looking to help support one of their relatives. Could be a spouse, could be a parent, could be a child, all these things to find them a way to kind of check out the value of golf and what it can do for them to help them kind of get back into the fabric of life today, to be quite honest with you, to participate and to be included with all the other fun, normal activities that everybody's doing.
So just to dive deeper into that, like, what are the benefits of accessible golf in your opinion?
Well, without a doubt, there's a health benefit just simply from being as physically active as somebody can be, right? And in some cases where physical activity may be limited, the therapeutic value, and I'm not a psychiatrist, or psychologist, but the therapeutic value of doing things with your friends and family, being part of the group, being included has amazing value. I'm a veteran myself. I retired from the service in 2005 and got in the golf business. And I've told people many times I must be a glutton for punishment if I chose that path. But I love what I do. And I've done a lot of work with veteran programs in my past. And, I've heard on multiple occasions, especially with some of the veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan that have significant injuries, even many contemplating suicide because of their challenges they now face, that being brought back into that kind of community with their veteran friends or family members, where they're just participating as a normal activity with friends and family, save their life because it gets them re-engaged with just participating and doing something that is fun and just keeps them happy.
Well, there's so much of the independence aspect of so just a little bit more about me, Dave. When I was a teenager, I was in the ocean. A wave picked me up, dropped me on my head, and shattered my neck. And when my friends pulled me to the shore, I was paralyzed below my shoulders, couldn't move. The first thing when my dad ran from the house down to the beach to see me, it's like, Dad, what about our tea time
Oh my
tomorrow?
goodness.
And he's just like, Josh, we're not going to make this one. And then when I returned home from the hospital, it was winter time, so I was doing all physical therapy. And then finally, come springtime, I got back out to a golf course. At that time, I was just a fan. I would wheel along, watch my dad and my friends play, and it was about a year of being a spectator. And then all of a sudden, you know what? I've got the mental game for this. I can do this. I can play. I know I have the mental game to play. And I ended up having a dream where I dreamed up a pendulum putting device that could hit a ball for me on the green to strike the ball near the hole. And I ended up making it out of PVC pipe, the first version, and it worked. And then all of a sudden, I was like, all right, how do I hit the long ball? And I ended up finding a slingshot, and we just started launching the ball. And it shoots over 130 yards with like precision accuracy. So that's when I started playing slingshot golf, and being able to get out onto a golf course and to be competitive again and to feel like an athlete again was transformative for my life. And I owe so much to the game of golf
Yeah,
for that.
I saw the recent video you sent me yesterday when you were out there with one of your friends, and you were using the power golf club that shoots
Yep.
the ball down the fairway, and then fine-tuning it with the slingshot at the end and your putting device. I think, quite honestly, Josh, are uh, ingenious. They're a golf course is a big space. And sure, there's golf. There's the what some people might call the pure version of golf, which requires you to swing and hit the golf ball yourself. But if you take a golfer and a caddy example, right? It's a team event for them, and in this case, the golfer's hitting the golf ball, and the caddy is really assisting. And what you're doing is a unique kind of reversal of that in a positive way, which is, although in your case the player does not have the mobility requirement to swing the golf club, they've reversed that process and they're directing someone what to do with it. So I thought it was a tremendous video. And as we talked briefly before the call, your slingshot and the putting device that you created are very cool, and I think transformative for some individuals that just are not aware that they can do these things. And I think the more folks that can see that these things are possible, the better. And as I mentioned, Fleeing Golf is another company out there. We're not associated with them. I just know them very well. And they're doing some great stuff as well with folks that can't swing a golf club like they would like to, but it gets them on the golf course. It gets them outside. It gets them having a good time. And I can see it in your face in all your videos. It puts a big old smile on your face, and it puts a big old smile on my face as well. So it's very cool.
It's fun, and if there's a will, there's a way. And you said most anything is still possible with a little creativity and a willingness to try. And what's better than just being out on a golf course surrounded by green, sometimes turning your cell phone off, like just being able to like unplug and just be a part of a sport that's just it's a beautiful sport. And it's every hole just brings a new excitement to like, all right, how am I gonna get from this tee box into that hole, 100, 300, sometimes 500 plus yards away? Like that's a fun challenge to overcome.
Yeah. And in your situation, one of the things we speak a lot about is, the access piece to golf courses and, of course, to the buildings themselves. And, the ADA is a law that's been around a long time. And we aspire just to educate owners and operators about that law, because it tends to be simpler than folks think to have an accessible environment. It's not very complicated, to be honest with you. And so we do a lot of speaking about that because, access is the physical. How can a person get from point A to point B and feel like it's just as easy to get there as if a person was walking could get there, or whatever that may be. And that's job one, is to be able to get there. And then the byproduct of that is this good feeling of being able to get there and now being able to be included and to enjoy what's going on. And that might be as simple as enjoying a cold beverage after the round of golf, or whatever it is that gets them out there doing that. I think it's a positive. And there's most golf courses probably have time to be accommodating for these sorts of things and to take an extra step to seek ways to do it, because I do believe it's a little bit of a population that is not as well served yet as it could be. And I think that's where we're looking to do is to help get people looking that way.
So, more and more you're talking about the ADA and the importance of that, but what does accessibility mean to you?
Yeah, I think, kind of to just summarize, what I briefly mentioned, accessibility means that an individual with a disability, regardless of what that disability may be, I mean, it may be an intellectual barrier where it's a communication challenge, if someone's in a wheelchair or an adaptive vehicle, it may be a physical barrier as well. But accessibility is just a term in an attempt to eliminate any barriers that prevent people from accessing the same kind of things an individual such as myself, knock on wood, who does not have a disability at this time of my life, they should be able to access the things as easily as I can, and to be able to benefit from those things like I benefit from the joy of accessing these things. So that's pretty much what access is to me.
I love that. That's a great definition, a great mindset and description of what accessibility is. And I kind of want to know, I'd love to share more. A lot of people don't know that almost 1/4 of the U.S. adults in America have some sort of disability, some type of disability, based on the definition of disability. But like, what are some of the different ways you've seen people with disabilities out on golf courses? And can you like share little stories about kind of like how that was like? That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of being able to go to Pinehurst to watch the U.S. Adaptive Open, which we've talked about a little bit. And sorry, my nose itching here. And I saw a range of different sorts of disabilities, which they put into impairment categories. And there were golfers in seated vehicles, adaptive vehicles, who are unable to stand up on their own. And the vehicles help them do that. They can go in and out of a lot of bunkers. They can go onto the greens without damaging the greens. The young man that won the competition, who I believe shot 2 under par, maybe 3, had an intellectual disability, and just watching the way that he and his caddy worked together to help him visualize where to hit the shot and what to do, because mechanically he was amazing, but the thought process of the golf is what he needed assistance with. The range of golfers out there hitting it with one arm, or a prosthetic leg, and so just to see them play golf and the joy they get out of it and that competitive spirit, uh, you know, for someone like myself, it puts a very unique perspective on how I view golf and the abilities I have to play golf and what I can do easily. When you see individuals that have these sorts of uh, things they have to work around succeed at those levels, it's inspiring, to tell you the truth. And so there you go.
They're good golfers. Like being able to shoot a 2 under. I don't care what course it's on, even if it's Pinehurst. Pinehurst is a difficult one, but like that's a high level skilled player right there.
It's a high likelihood that player would take money from me if we had a bet going on.
When I was first injured, so I went from a critical unit to an inpatient hospital called National Rehabilitation Hospital, and the president of that hospital was a man named Ed Eckenhoff, and he was an avid golfer and was a member of a very great club in the area called Burning Tree, and basically he ended up stealing my dad. He was like, he's like, Dad, come out, let's go golfing together. Let's get you out of the hospital. And Ed had an injury in the 1970s and broke his back. So he used braces on his leg, and would use one crutch and would go to the ball and swing with one arm while standing on the crutch and the braces. And this guy took my dad out. My dad was just like, all right, I got to take it easy on him. He destroyed my dad. Like put him like, I don't know if his intent was to make my dad feel better that day, but he utterly destroyed my dad. And this guy with swing with one arm had 4 hole-in-ones in his life. Like it's incredible, the game of golf, and being able to get out there and being able to, no matter your abilities, being able to find a way.
Yeah.
And,
One of the golfers in the final group, at least on the men's side, was veteran Chad Pfeiffer, who had a prosthetic leg, and he was under par as well after approaching 54 holes, played fantastically. And that's the beautiful part about, what we do and some of the types of grants that we provide. I mean, for us, it's veterans and non-veterans, adults and children, golf courses, parks, therapeutic facilities or hospitals. We've got a program that run by a PGA professional called Kevin Korn that we've helped support in Missouri, and he's gone there once a week, I think, for almost 11 years in a row, and is helping children at the Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital. He goes up there, they hit foam golf balls, he gets them outside, and to see their smile on their face is amazing. Scottish Rite Hospital in Texas, Dana Dempsey, one of our board members, has a fantastic learn to golf program there. And so, that's the best part about our particular alliance is, we're unrestricted regards to the types of programs that we can help. Obviously I'm a veteran, so I always love supporting veterans programs, but we get to look in all sorts of unique places to help support different kinds of programs that are helping folks with disabilities play golf.
That's awesome. And so, what is an achievement that you're most proud of with the Alliance?
Yeah, I've had to think about this in a little bit, and I'm going to be honest with you. The thing I'm most proud of is, uh, first of all, just having the opportunity to be involved with this kind of organization and what we have done and what we can potentially do to really help in this space. But I think the achievement I'm most proud of really has more to do with the achievements of all of these programs around the country, that are doing the day to day work in the dirt to get people out of their house, to get them at the golf course, to work with them in the hospital, to show them, a path to a part of their life that they thought they might have either lost or didn't know that they had, to kind of get them going. And so that's what I'm the most excited about and most proud of is the opportunity to be able to contribute to that in some way.
It's wonderful. Um, with the kind of the business world, so much of the world we live in, it's companies that are investing in products, investing in the community, investing in services. And I just as what's a message that you would give to business owners to kind of to cater more to people with disabilities, golfers with disabilities, and to create more inclusion within their business models?
Yeah, a good question. I think obviously we predominantly deal with, golf facilities and of course some of the therapeutic organizations, but I think regarding, golf course owners and operators, and I've done that, I think, it's simply taking the first step. Number one is asking the question, what can we do better, or what can we do that we haven't done in the past to create this more welcoming environment? It might be marketing. I mean, I've seen some great pictures on social media lately with retail outlets that have individuals with a disability, in their shopping, and pictures of individuals with disabilities. So, how you market to and how, the imagery you use that shows that your facility welcomes everybody, right, is a great first step. And then, picking up the phone and asking where organizations like ours or other organizations can help, help advise on how to proceed down this way would be good. So it's really, creating that environment and then working with your staff, training your staff on some of these subtleties with, you know, how do you communicate with individuals with disabilities? What should you say? How should you say it? What should you not be worried about saying? Because in the end, listen, we're just going to have a conversation. You're a person, I'm a person, and the goal is just to get to that end result of being on the same path with what direction we want to go. So I remember when I first started teaching, I was concerned about what I could or could not ask about an individual's disability, or what I should or should not say. And in the end, those things play out. Just speak with the individuals. We're all humans, and those things will take care of themselves. And don't shy away from it. Embrace that challenge and embrace the opportunity to have an environment that encourages participation from everyone.
And the more interactions you have, the better you get at it. And it's just like golf. The more you practice, the better you get. But Dave, I just can't. That was a great answer. I really love that answer. And but just thank you so much for being on accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions today. Incredible guest, incredible mission you have over there, and just thank you so much for your time.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm convinced we're going to have some more conversations in the near future. So we'll be talking.
You better believe it. And for all of our guests, thank you so much for staying to the end of accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions Day. Until next time, take care, everyone.